When anyone ever asks me, I say, I have 3 kids, but Ari's just not here.
That's always a difficult start, because when people, and that's why I say we've had 5 children, because I don't want to miss Margot.
No. Ari was 3.5 when he sadly had an accident at home and never survived from that accident.
So unlike Ari's situation, we had a long runway knowing that, Margot was unwell, and then she was declared incurable.
How old is she?
She was 2 years and 2 months old when she died. So I'm Yasser. I'm a father, and I lost my daughter.
I'm Jay. I'm a dad and proud father of 3 amazing children, Ari, Asha and Isla.
We lost our daughter Margot. She was the 3rd that we had to blood cancer. So we're left with 4 boys. We since had 2 more boys. Vicky found out 2 days after Margot died that she was pregnant with Digby.
We had IVF. So at his funeral, I do remember telling everyone that Ari was a miracle of IVF, as were his twin sisters. And that miracle lives on because his organs live on through other children.
Sometime before she died, Vicky, we were in the car, and she said, look, I've done some initial investigations, and I think we can donate Margot's heart valves.
So you thought about
We thought, well, okay, and at the time I was driving, and frankly, I was horrified. And I thought, what are you talking about? It was a day or 2 later when I circled back, and I thought, of course we should give Margot's organs if we can, any part of her. Later it transpired that it wasn't possible. The good outcome from all of this, if there is such a thing, is that we'd had that conversation. A bit like you and your wife. You've had that discussion. You know how you feel about it. Some years earlier, she had said to me, the least attractive thing about you is that you're not on the organ donor register. And I hadn't really thought about it. I thought, well, and it was always, I guess I was just busy with life, doing what I thought was important. It wasn't long after that I signed up to the organ donor register.
That's all right. So your wife's peer pressure.
Pathetic, really, but there we are. But then when Margot was diagnosed with blood cancer, it was a surprise. It was a clumsy discovery. They needed to give her platelets because she had a, extremely low, if non-existent platelet count. So they were concerned that she wouldn't clot. Yeah. So platelets were ordered, and the nurse was on the phone to the courier telling him to hurry. And I said to her, is this, do you have enough platelets? Is there enough blood? And she said, yes, there is. We've checked. It's not always the case. And so these platelets arrived and were given to her. She's in a coma at this point, an induced coma. And this blood's arriving, and I'm feeling grateful and relieved. And then quite quickly after that, I felt ashamed because I'd never given blood before.
Unless it's in your face, and unless it's something that's very close to you, it's more than likely something you don't talk about.
Do you know who received Ari's organs?
Our only wish at the time of deciding was that these children that received Ari's organs would live, and receiving a letter was so important for us. I don't think anyone would disagree in fulfilling the wishes of their loved ones, should they know what their wishes are.
Giving them a heads up is going to be hugely valuable and comforting.
This decision was actually really easy because we'd had that conversation. The hardest thing was actually having that conversation with my mom, because she's a devout Hindu. I'd never had a conversation with my mom about death and what would happen. In the same context I would have had it with Sina. And it was surprisingly enlightening, her reaction. Her reaction was, you have done the proudest thing for Ari, and you've done the proudest thing for you and Sina, because you've made a decision that's hard, but you've made the right decision for him and for other people. To know that Ari in his short time has had such a massive impact on one person is actually really amazing. to know, and I'm very proud of him. Donating blood, donating your organs, those things have impacts on so many other people. Every day there's that big hole that we can't ever fill.
People tend to focus on anniversaries. You know, the anniversary of Margot's death, or her birthday, or, you know, her transplant date. She actually had a transplant, which was unsuccessful. But it is every day.
Yeah.
And she's never far from mind.